niche. Nobody knows how to pronounce this word, guys. Nobody. GIF, niche, tomato, potato. Anyway. Niche. Focus. Differentiation. Positioning. Unique selling point. There are literally dozens of words in the English language that describe this one crucial rule of early business success. This rule is that being an expert in one specific thing or to one specific type of audience is going to be far better for the success in early business than being a generalist. Welcome to this episode of The Branded Startup. My name is Vik Harrison, and I am a branding coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And today we're talking about the undeniable benefits of finding your niche, especially early on in the life of your business or your nonprofit. We're going to talk about how to find your niche and how to make sure that that niche for you is sustainable in the long term. In the world of marketing and branding, this is often called positioning or niching down. But let me tell you what the dictionary says about the word niche. A niche is a comfortable or suitable position in life or employment. Now I love this because comfortable, the word comfortable to me says you're comfortable, you're in your happy place, you're in your zone of genius. It's not too overwhelming or unhealthy for you. Suitable means it actually suits with your strengths. It doesn't force you to operate out of a place of weakness. It suits your strengths and your area of expertise that you naturally gravitate to. And the word employment obviously implies that it is a way for you to make a very sustainable living. So many of you guys know that I spent a long time building the organization Charity Water alongside my husband, Scott. And when we were first starting Charity Water, when we were sitting around his kitchen table brainstorming about all of the possibilities, we actually, in the beginning, wanted to tackle every single problem facing the global poor. This is why the name Charity Water still has a colon in it. Initially, we were going to call ourselves Charity and then change out the mission every few years. So we wanted to start with water, but then also tackle hunger and HIV/AIDS and housing and medical issues. And thank goodness for us, we got lucky in that the water crisis proved to be challenging enough, and there proved to be so much work that needed to be done in water alone that 12 years later, we're still just Charity Water. And as we drilled down further and further into the water issue, that was kind of an unfortunate pun, sorry about that. As we drilled down into the expertise of clean water and global development, we were able to learn more and more and become experts in clean water issues in developing countries. And so this is the thing that happens with expertise, right? It snowballs. The more that of an expert you become in one specific area, the more you can apply your learnings, your failures from previous experiences to your next projects. If you were tackling vastly different issues, what you would learn in one issue, you couldn't actually apply that knowledge over to the other issues. And so your growth and your amassment of knowledge would be a lot slower. Okay, so let's talk about how do you actually find your niche? Like everything in life, like all change, like all uncomfortable things, it starts with your mindset. So defining a niche is essentially deciding that you're going to say no to everything else so that you can say yes to this one specific thing that you want to become an expert in. And that is scary because as a new business, you want to be profitable, you want to make money, so saying no to opportunity, especially in our culture because America is the land of opportunity, right? It's a scary, scary idea, but that is exactly how you find your niche, and that's exactly how you become a profitable, successful, highly successful business. You say no so that you can say yes to the right kind of opportunities. So that fear of commitment, that fear of leaving opportunity on the table is in fact the number one reason that businesses don't niche down and often fail because of that. An author that I love to read, Blair Enns, says that saying no gives power to your yes. And he also calls this decision, he calls it the difficult business decision. The difficult business decision to decide to say no, to leave money on the table to your less than ideal perfect clients because you are committed to serving only one specific type of client with one specific type of product or service, and you're really committed at becoming an expert in that one specific niche. So once you've mustered up the courage to make this difficult business decision, let's now talk about how to practically find your niche. And here I want to talk about a book called The Business of Expertise. And in this book, the author, David C. Baker, talks about the vertical and the horizontal types of expertise. Vertical expertise are usually markets like health and wellness, beauty, air travel, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and you can think of them as industries and subsets of those industries. Horizontal expertise is more about demographics and practice areas, such as specializing in the Hispanics market, or specializing in crisis management, or specializing in online education, right? So you've got the vertical, which is markets or industries, and the horizontal, which is practices. And this is where the magic is. So the strategy for finding your niche lies in picking and deciding on a vertical and a horizontal. So that's where you really become untouchable. When you say, I do crisis management for pharmaceutical companies, that's such a unique niche that you can actually become an expert there because it is so well defined. Or I do photography training for wedding photographers. Or I do social media marketing for airline companies. Or I do peaceful parenting strategies for stay-at-home moms who are homeschooling. So once you say, I do this one specific thing for this specific group of people, that's where the gold is. That's niching down. And often you have to niche down even further than that. Like, for example, in the YouTube beauty blogger market, right? There are hundreds of beauty YouTube channels. Sometimes even when you've identified the horizontal and the vertical, there's still a lot more competition or niching down that you have to do there. So for example, if you say, I do social media marketing for airline companies, maybe the next step from there is I do social media marketing for domestic airline companies or for budget airline companies, or I only do Instagram social marketing for airline companies. But sometimes niching down means looking even further than just the horizontal and the vertical, but that is already a good place to start. Before I dive into my third and final point, I wanted to get a quick temperature check. Do you guys find this helpful? Does this resonate? Do you know what your horizontal and horizontal positioning, sorry, got my words switched up. Do you know what that is for you? Does that ring true for you? If so, shoot me a note in the comments below. I would love to hear what exactly your niche is and who exactly it is for, whether it's a product or service that you're making. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, on to my third and final point. If you are picking a specialty, an expertise, an area of focus, for you to get really good at that, it will take some time. So my third point for you is that you must be passionate about this specific thing. You must lead with passion first and logic second, because you will be stuck with this for a really long time. Hopefully, if you're successful, if you're good at this, if this is lucrative for you, you'll be doing this for a really long time. You'll get better and better at it. Sure, there'll be interesting clients in your path, of course, but essentially the entire concept of niching down and becoming an expert is that you do the same type of work for the same type of people for a really long time. So you must be passionate about it first and foremost. If you are passionate, like really passionate about something, the expertise will follow. Expertise is something you learn. It's learned, it's not innate, right? So like Marie Forleo likes to say, everything is figure outable as long as you're passionate enough to figure it out. I added that second part myself. She doesn't say that part, but she does say everything is figure outable, and it's true. I know for myself with the branded startup, I was very passionate about teaching branding concepts to purpose-driven entrepreneurs. I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't know anything about teaching. I'd had experience in brand building at Charity Water, but I really didn't know how to go about teaching this. But because I am and continue to be and always will be passionate about bringing better branding to people that are trying to do good in the world, I will do anything within my power to learn how to teach these concepts to you. So that's why passion trumps everything else when you're picking a niche. It's because you're gonna be doing this for a really long time, and if you have the passion, everything else, like Marie says, is figure outable. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this content and that it was helpful for you. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next week.